His Excellency Daiyr Kenekeev.
Уважаемый председатель.
Mr. President, Secretary General, ladies and gentlemen, allow me on behalf of the government of the Kyrgyz Republic to warmly greet you. At the outset, allow me to express my gratitude to the Republic of Tajikistan for promoting such an important issue which directly affects us all and will decide the future of humanity as a whole. None of us has any doubt that water is the source of life. It is possible that in the near future it will be the key resource in relations between states, nations, and peoples. Therefore, we welcome the launch of the International Decade of Action, Water for Sustainable Development for 2018-2028. We highly value and support the policies of Tajikistan to draw the international community's attention to the issue of water use. That is why Kyrgyzstan co-sponsored this initiative. We are convinced that limited water resources sooner or later will lead to the acknowledgement that water is an economic resource, one that countries already need to prioritize. Ladies and gentlemen, it is well known that climate change is a serious threat for the future of humanity, and it increasingly affects ecosystems, water resources, food and energy security, and leads to widespread natural disasters. For the Kyrgyz Republic, whose territory is more than 90% mountains, climate change creates many serious problems. Of especial concern are the melting glaciers, the primary source of fresh water not only in Central Asia, but throughout the world. According to estimates, by 2025, the total area of Kyrgyz glaciers could decrease by an average of 30 to 40%, and thus the water volume in Central Asian rivers could decrease by 25 to 35%. By 2100, the glaciers of the Kyrgyz Republic could disappear from the face of the earth. Therefore, our country calls for joint action to conserve glaciers in the mountainous countries. Ensuring access to safe and affordable drinking water in the Kyrgyz Republic is extremely pressing. Kyrgyzstan is the area where water resources in Central Asia are formed. According to statistics from the UNFAO, it has the lowest per capita access to drinking water. In other words, in rural areas, approximately 40% of the population does not have enough clean drinking water. The government of the Kyrgyz Republic is currently implementing the Taza Su project. That translates as clean water. The project aims to ensure our country's villages have clean drinking water. Here we call on international organizations, financial institutions, and donor countries to support and to promote such projects. We consider it key to note that in the context of the Sustainable Development Goals, goal number 7 must also be achieved. It deals with low cost and clean energy. Today, Central Asia has significant potential to move to environmentally clean energy. Projects to build hydroelectric plants in Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan would fully cover the needs of Central Asian countries for hydroenergy and thus would establish beneficial conditions for sustainable development throughout the region. In this context, the Kyrgyz Republic fully supports the achievement of the Kasa 1000 project. Distinguished participants, having a significant store of fresh water, Kyrgyzstan, under existing relations, does not have appropriate economic remuneration for the collection and storage of water resources, these that are key not only for the region, but also for supporting global balances, to continue to stably provide lower-lying countries with water resources. Kyrgyzstan calls for integrated management of water resources and proposes to develop economic development mechanisms in Central Asia for mutually beneficial cooperation on water and energy, including the creation of separate basin commissions for each river. In this regard, we stress the latest agreements reached with neighboring countries in Central Asia to renew cooperation under the agreements on the use of water and energy resources of the Sirdarya River basin. It was agreed upon between Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan in 1998 and envisages a balanced exchange of water and energy resources. A success story of bilateral cooperation and mutually beneficial use of water resources in Central Asia is the cooperation between Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan on the Chu and Talas rivers. There, both sides participate equally in covering expenditures to exploit and to maintain technology for domestic facilities that are being used for interstate use and other actions that were agreed upon to disperse water proportionally. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyrgyzstan today is carrying out active progressive policies to ensure sustainable development. It's well known that many depleted uranium stockpiles exist in Kyrgyzstan and other Central Asian countries, and they are located directly next to rivers and other water sources. In the case of possible accidents in these stores, the rivers of the region would be polluted with highly toxic elements, and this could lead to massive environmental and humanitarian catastrophes leading to negative effects on the lives and healths of millions of people and on the social and economic development of all Central Asian states. Understanding this risk, we could not allow such an accident to happen. Therefore, the Kyrgyz Republic proposes that during the upcoming 73rd session of the UN General Assembly, a new resolution be adopted calling for greater international support to solve the issue of uranium stores in Central Asia. I wish to take this opportunity to ask you to support our initiative and take part at the highest level possible in the events planned, including on the sidelines of the 73rd session of the UNGA. In the past, it was Kyrgyzstan that took the initiative to draw the attention of the international community to the issues of sustainable development, to improving the well-being of populations, and to conserve the environment of mountainous countries. The results of this work were the holding of the Bishkek Global Mountain Summit and the launching of 2002 by the UN General Assembly of the International Day of Mountains. Moreover, last year was the 15-year anniversary of the adoption of the Bishkek Mountain Platform, which is the most important document for sustainable development of mountainous regions throughout the world. On that date, the 11th of December, the Kyrgyz Republic plans on holding a fourth mountain forum in Bishkek. Mr. President, the UNGA acknowledged the central role of water for sustainable development as it is reflected in Agenda 2030, as well as in the call for action within the framework of the new decade, Water for Sustainable Development. We reiterate the readiness of Kyrgyzstan to actively cooperate with all interested parties during this decade, and we express our hope that with our joint efforts, we will be able to ramp up efforts and undertake effective, innovative approaches at the national, regional, and global levels. In conclusion, allow me once again to state that our country is ready for close and mutually beneficial cooperation for the betterment of the countries and peoples of Central Asia. I thank you for your attention.